as she walks out onto the track for the Haskell.
New Jersey racing fans are some of the most enthusiastic in the country, but it's not just New Jersey fans who are here to see Rachel Alexandra. Many have traveled from the local area, some from a lot further than that. Rachel Alexandra has that drawing power, and she is here at 1-5 as our favorite in the 42nd running of the Haskell. Calvin Burrell up there, and Rachel Alexandra handling it all with the class that she has shown and the professionalism in her career. Let's meet the field now for the 42nd Haskell, starting with the Iowa Derby winner, Duke of Mischief.
Duke of Mischief won that Iowa Derby by 5 lengths over Soul Warrior. Soul Warrior came back yesterday and won the West Virginia Derby, beating the Kentucky Derby winner in Mind That Bird. So Duke of Mischief, I think if there's going to be an upset in here, it could be him at 18-1. He's a big price in here.
The 2 Summer Bird for Kent DeSormo and Tim Ice. Like we said, the blinkers on might have done the trick last time in the Belmont. Maybe this is, if they go a little bit early quick with Munnings and Rachel Alexandra, I think it makes him a player. But other than that, I think he might be a little pace compromise in this field.
The 3 up next, Papa Clem. Papa Clem ran in the local prep here for the Haskell. It's called the Long Branch. He finished 3rd, beaten 5 lengths by Atomic Rain. He was away slowly that day, but I don't think it made any difference. I think he's an outside chance here at 7-1.
The 4 Munnings, Todd Pletcher and John Velasquez. The best 3-year-old colt, maybe the best 3-year-old around 1 turn, definitely has a ton of speed. It's going to be a decision whether he's going to go early. He said earlier in an interview that he's going to let him run early. He's not going to take him back. If he wants to go, he's going to let him go.
The 5 Atomic Rain, the winner of that aforementioned Long Branch here, was purchased after that race by Godolphin Racing. Saeed bin Surur is the trainer now. Joe Bravo has been aboard for the last 2 victories by 3 lengths and by 4 lengths. Reportedly had a bruised foot earlier this week. He's recovered from that, and he makes the line up here at 18-1.
And here she is, Rachel Alexandra. You know, I've been fortunate enough to play in a lot of stadiums, been fortunate enough to play under pressure, and I got chills right now. This is the best looking horse I've ever seen in person. She is absolutely immaculate, beautiful. I mean, it's just basically speechless.
Yeah, you could hear the crowd roar behind Paul there as Larry Colmus introduced Rachel Alexandra. Lots of girl power signs here. And now's the 7, Bunker Hill, completing the lineup here. The blinkers go on. A horse that debuted for maiden $50,000 claiming was actually claimed out of that race, and then 2 days later the claim was voided. So Derek Ryan and his connections got to keep Bunker Hill, and they've made over $195,000 with this horse. A local horse trying to get the job done at 32-1.
Just 5 minutes now until Rachel Alexandra takes on the boys for the 2nd time in her career. She has not lost since November of last year, and many anticipate the winning streak will continue to go on. She is here on the East Coast. On the West Coast, there is the undefeated Zenyatta, and horse racing this year has come down to these 2 brilliant champions. As each takes to the racetrack, so much is on the line. They must keep winning if they want to be recognized as the best in our sport, and Rachel Alexandra is doing her part.
She's certainly doing her part, and the plan to take on the boys is because apparently she's not coming to the Breeders' Cup, so this is the momentum to get her to Horse of the Year honors. Steve Asmussen off stage left here. He's with a bunch of reporters. He was looking on and very, very happy with the way she warmed up in the post-parade. He makes his way back to the box seats. And look at her. She's an absolute professional. She handles all this commotion in extremely good order, and Calvin Burrell's going to be very happy with her with 5 minutes to post.
Well, Rachel Alexandra has checked off her list, beat Kentucky Derby winner. Now on that list, I guess you could say, is I need to beat the Belmont winner, and she's got that opportunity here to do that with the presence of Summer Bird.
Well, Summer Bird has a slight advantage because he's been here, like Simon said, for a month. He's been working over this track. He's familiar with this place. He's had plenty of rest since the Belmont. Sometimes the Belmont can knock horses out for a loop for a little while, but he's had plenty of rest. And like I said, Munnings to me has got a ton of speed. I think Munnings gets the lead in this race. Rachel Alexandra is going to have to pass Munnings, and if that happens, that makes Summer Bird a big player in here.
Simon, what is the tactical style you expect from Summer Bird? Because, yeah, he came from off the pace in the Belmont, but he was mid-pack that day.
Yeah, you can't take this horse out of his style. His style is to come from off the pace. He's going to be laying closer. The blinkers added a little more zip to him. And you've got to remember that was a 1.5 mile race, so I think by definition he was going to lay a little closer as well. As the races get longer, the internal fractions get a little slower, therefore the horse is going to lay a little closer. I think Kent DeSormo is not going to take him out of his running game. He might have to press the button a little earlier, but you're not going to see him rush up and try and engage early. He's going to sit back and come with his run. If he's good enough, he'll get there. If he's not, he'll pick up a piece.
And he is currently our second betting choice at odds of 5-1. Duke of Mischief, we were talking about, is winning the Iowa Derby over a horse that went on to beat Mind That Bird yesterday in the West Virginia Derby. But Duke of Mischief also has a win over a sloppy racetrack, the type of surface he's facing here today.
Well, I agree with Simon. I think this horse has got a little bit of shot to hit the board if you're playing trifectas and you're gambling in this race. I think this horse is obviously undefeated around 2 turns on the dirt. He tried the dirt one time, going 6 furlongs, wasn't successful. A race got taken off the turf and he exploded. So now they're saying maybe we got a dirt horse here. He won the Iowa Derby. He's in here in good form and he's very sharp.
Simon, as we look at the 3 Papa Clem, we mentioned it's been a great spring for him. Has it been a long spring for him?
Yeah, it's been a long spring. He's danced every dance. He never misses a beat. He's trained by an old school trainer in Gary Studi, and he put some solid works in this horse. But Papa Clem, you got to remember, beat the Belmont Stakes winner, Summer Bird, in the Arkansas Derby. But I think Summer Bird is a better racehorse now than he was then. He was improving. He was lightly raced at that stage. So I think Summer Bird will definitely turn the tables on him today.
Just 2 minutes until the Haskell. 2 minutes until they start to load. Atomic Rain, what are we to make of those discussions about the bruised foot? I mean, there was some talk he wouldn't even make the race, yet here he is.
That's always a cause for concern. I've been in that spot when I was training and when I worked around many, many good horses. It's always a cause for concern. You know, I'm sure the connections have gone over this horse from top to bottom, otherwise he wouldn't be here. But without the bruised foot, he's still got to step his game up here. He should like the wet track. He has 1 win over a sloppy service. And Joe Bravo, he's the local hero here. He's ridden more winners here than any other jockey in this race.
The largest attendance for the Haskell was back in 2003, 53,638. There was some talk they could challenge that today because of the presence of Rachel Alexandra. The rain midway through the day hampered the crowd a little bit, but everyone has piled out of the grandstand to get here trackside and take a look at Rachel Alexandra in the field contesting here. Munnings really holds the key to Rachel Alexandra's performance.
Well, I think so, and the reason why I picked Munnings, if you go back to the Derby Oaks Day, Rachel Alexandra, granted against Fillies, ran a 1:11.4 for 6 furlongs. Munnings on the same day, off a year layoff, went 1:08 and change around 1 turn. That's almost 15 lengths faster, so this horse should be on the engine.
Simon, earlier in the day you were talking to trainer Todd Pletcher about this off racetrack and how it relates to Munnings.
His response was, if he runs to the Tomlinson number, he should win this race. And what do we mean by Tomlinson number for the novice viewers? Well, there's some numbers that are in the racing form. The higher number, the better the chance this horse has to perform on a wet track. And he has the highest Tomlinson number in this race. So on paper, he should handle it.
Yeah, he needs a lifetime best performance to match what Rachel Alexandra has been doing to date. And as we look at her 7-race win streak coming in, what do you guys think is her most impressive win today?
To me, I mean, the Mother Goose to me was unbelievable. 1:08.4 at Belmont and galloping and kept going on. 1:33 and change for the mile. You don't see top older horses go that fast at Belmont Park. It was a freakishly effort last time in the Mother Goose.
Here's the thing, the Mother Goose to me was visually one of the most impressive performances I've ever seen, especially when you looked at the time, the clock after the race. But, you know, for hardcore race fans, I think the Preakness, when you look at her form on paper, she only won the Preakness by a length, but what she did that day to overcome an outside post, beat the boys, and run through a very swift pace early, that was a tremendous performance for me. But visually, I'll take the Mother Goose as one of the best.
And here she is again, Rachel Alexandra, also running for a very important cause, being recognized here today for the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Awareness Foundation.
Yeah, that's why all of us are wearing pink ties today, and Jess Jackson has got behind the Susan G. Komen Foundation with Rachel Alexandra. Each and every time she wins, he's going to donate some of the purse earnings towards that fight against breast cancer. So it goes hand in hand. That's why a lot of young ladies, a lot of women out here today, not only follow Rachel Alexandra, but to support the cause for breast cancer and the fight against it.
We talk so much in thoroughbred racing about the good old days. You mentioned Secretariat. A lot of people talked about the golden age of racing in the 70s, and yet here at a time when the sport needs a hero the most, along comes Rachel Alexandra, and this is one of those horses where the youngsters like Abby there, who visited us earlier today on our set, will talk about they were at the racetrack and got to see this wondrous filly.
I mean, how many times have you seen in a long while young kids from 15 years and under, boys and girls out here with signs for Rachel Alexandra? It's an unbelievable sight to see, and this is a great place to have it at.
We're privileged to be here on site broadcasting. We're glad you can join us with this worldwide audience through the Fox Sports family of networks and in conjunction with TVG, America's Horse Racing Network. Everyone who is involved with this race is excited about the opportunity. Good example of that is Larry Colmus, who will be calling this race. He looks down on the field as they start to load here. The voice of the Haskell gets a chance to add his voice to the highlight reel. That is Rachel Alexandra. That's the one thing, and there are many things that are wonderful about greatness, but it's the anticipation of seeing something you have possibly never seen before. And with Rachel Alexandra, each race brings us a moment that seems to be better than the previous one. Let's see if she can deliver yet again. The magnificent filly, Rachel Alexandra, in the 2009 Haskell.
They're off in the Haskell. And Rachel Alexandra and Munnings both started well, and it will be Munnings to set the pace. Rachel Alexandra right there. Papa Clem is close up too, and Summer Bird is close. He's right there on the inside. He's only a length and a half off the lead. He's on the rail. Duke of Mischief and Bunker Hill are next as they move for the first turn. And it's Munnings. He's off the rail in front. Summer Bird much closer to the pace. He's right there second on the inside. Rachel Alexandra next. 22-4 was the quarter. Now Rachel Alexandra is a half length off of Munnings and running in second. Summer Bird third to the inside. He's got rail position. Papa Clem and Bunker Hill next. Atomic Rain is 4 lengths off the lead, and Duke of Mischief on the inside. 5 furlongs to go. A 46-2 half mile for John Velasquez and Munnings, who lead the Haskell field up the backstretch with 2 Triple Crown race winners in pursuit. Summer Bird on the inside. Rachel Alexandra on the outside. They're 2 lengths clear of Papa Clem, who's got 4 lengths to make up. Now Joe Bravo wants more from Atomic Rain. Duke of Mischief is on the inside, and Bunker Hill around the far turn, and 3 of them are across the track. Munnings, Rachel Alexandra, and Summer Bird on the inside. Papa Clem is fourth. Duke of Mischief and Atomic Rain, and Rachel Alexandra has taken the lead. 3/4 in 109-4, and she turns for home with a 4-length lead. Munnings is second. Summer Bird, Papa Clem, but it's Rachel Alexandra by the 16th pole. She's 6 lengths out in front. Here's a filly for the ages, a Haskell legend. Rachel Alexandra did it. Summer Bird was 6 lengths behind her on the wire. And then came Munnings, Papa Clem, and Duke of Mischief. And the final time was 1:47-1, just missing the track record.
Greatness on display in the 42nd running of the Haskell. Rachel Alexandra delivers what the crowd came to see, another tour de force.
One of the best moments I've ever been around at a race. I mean, I have chills down my back as Rachel Alexandra entered the stretch pole. The crowd rose. They gave her a standing ovation, and she deserved it because I tell you what, Summer Bird put some heat on early, but she was always traveling under jockey Calvin Burrell, 3 wide down the backside.
Yeah, can I take that back? The Haskell was the most impressive win. She was 3 wide going 109-4 and blew the doors off of 3 nice horses. Amazing run. And I apologize for picking Munnings, all the TVG fans. This horse is a freak. You always use that term as a freak. 3 wide going 109-4 and just absolutely blew their doors off.
And they really tried every tactic. The other riders in the race tried everything against her today.
I was surprised to see Summer Bird. We kind of talked about it going into the race, how not to take him out of his game plan, but they wanted to engage early because they didn't want Rachel Alexandra to get away and loose on the front. It didn't matter. Go ahead and engage Munnings, Summer Bird. She's got an answer for that. Her answer is sit 3 wide, press the button, and then draw off in impressive fashion.
Paulie, this is Calvin Burrell's version of a home run trot. He's just got to figure out how to celebrate as he gets to the wire.
I always used to tell guys, when they hit long home runs, they can do what they want. When you win by this much in the Haskell, you can do what you want, Calvin Burrell.
And this is a scene that is played out with racetracks across America. Rachel Alexandra winning and a cruising, dominating performance, and Calvin Burrell knowing the race is in hand before he gets to the wire.
You know what's scary, Simon, is this horse might be better rating off horses. She's always been a kind of horse that's been, she's obviously a horse that's come, up close to the lead, but the Mother Goose, she was 5 lengths out of it. She sat off Munnings and Summer Bird today and exploded again. She might be better rating off horses than being on the lead.
I think so. The more she races, she shows the ability to race. She's an absolute professional.